More planning for bigger results. Now, as a visionary, I get a lot of ideas. And I get so excited and I think, oh my goodness, of course, this is the most brilliant idea I get. So I rush to put it out to my clients. Well, that's what I used to do. And I mean, even the old Stacy, if she ever saw me talking about this, she wouldn't be able to believe it because I would be so fast. I would put out a new offer, a new name, new sale, you name it, I would do it. And then I would wait for sales to rush in. And a lot of times it was just crickets, right? Or maybe some sales, but nothing what I thought it was going to be, right? Something that I thought could be $100,000 launch would generate $20,000. So how could my $1 million idea only produce a few $100 sometimes, right? And then I would do it over and over and over again. And I thought I just needed more ideas, better ideas, but that's not true, right? A lot of my ideas were actually really good. They were just poorly executed. So let me ask you, your last idea that flopped, was it a bad idea or was it just poorly executed, right? You're wasting time being fast, which sounds impossible, but it's not. The faster you are, the more ideas you have to come up with. And because it's not executed well, you just need another idea sooner. Okay. What if you just took a minute and you kept that idea to yourself? Again, the old Stacy would go, why would you keep it to yourself? You're losing money. But you're not. What if you just marinated on it for a little bit? What if you just sat on that idea? You thought about it, you brainstormed on it, right? You took the time to let yourself really be a true visionary and continue, right, to make this plan even bigger. How much better could the idea get? How much more strategy would be involved because you were allowing it space and time? Think about the difference in conversion, right? Now, you've been hearing me talk a little bit about our upcoming challenge that we're doing the week of September 12th. And I will tell you, I had that challenge date planned before summer even started. And I started working on the entire thing in July. I had 9 weeks of planning, 9 weeks. I could have done this challenge way faster. I could have done it in July or in August. But for me, it's about maximizing the opportunity, going all in, going above and beyond, wowing people that are following me, watching me, observing me, going, I want that. I want that level of execution. Okay. The old Stacy would watch somebody's 5-day challenge on how to create a challenge. And on Wednesday of the 5-day challenge, I'd already have my challenge scheduled for Monday. And then it wouldn't do what I wanted it to do. And I get discouraged. So then I would think, okay, next person, next mentor, next guru, new idea. Who can I go follow? You've got to slow yourself down. We were talking about this inside of Powerhouse recently about how our most successful clients, they're bored. Business is boring at the top level because it's not new. Try this, right? It's slowing down. It's getting meticulous. It's refining, right? Most people don't want to do that because it's not fun for them. They want to go fast. They want to create. But you know what's really not fun? Not getting results. Okay. We need to slow down to speed up. Now, Tony Robbins says, if you aren't growing, you're dying. If you've ever watched anything Tony Robbins does, I'm sure you've heard that phrase. Here's where I get nervous about that phrase for some people. Unfortunately, we forget that sometimes we just need to slow down a little bit to speed up. Preparation is a necessity, right? So if you're thinking, oh my goodness, Tony says, if I'm not growing, I'm dying. It's like, but wait, if you're not growing, but you're literally preparing for growth, you're not dying, right? Your business isn't dying. Preparation is key. And a lot of times it's missing from small businesses, right? I am a natural quick start. And I get these ideas and I think I can, go to the team and be like, okay, we're going to do this and we're going to do it, in 2 weeks. And they usually request like 2 weeks. Could this be a 90-day plan? Right. Or they'll think like, can we do this in 2023? Right. There is still a part of me that wants to go fast, that thinks things take much shorter than they actually do. Right. So I really want to make sure that you are giving yourself enough time. And a big disclaimer, I am not talking to the perfectionists out there, okay? Those of you that take way too long, you've been sitting on this idea for 6 months, a year, you know who you are, okay? You need like the opposite of this podcast right now, right? But you know who you are if you're that quick start, that visionary, that fast idea, right? I'm talking about like the Speedy Gonzales right now in business. You know if that's you or not. Okay, so let's talk about 4 steps to prepare you for your biggest results ever, okay? So step number 1, I want you to pick a strategic date to bring you the most ROI, okay? So let me just take a minute here. I could have done my challenge in July, in June, I didn't pick those dates. Why? Because a lot of you are slowing down in summer, or you're just busy with the kids and whatever it is, right? You're not thinking about speeding up in June or July, but you definitely are thinking about it in September. It's the perfect timing to get back into the swing of things and get this business cruising and hitting those goals before the end of the year. So pick a strategic date to bring you the most ROI. Do not be impatient and just pick next week because you want to put this out there. Okay. We've been sitting on the new name of the podcast for months already, literally months. I already got the photo shoot for the cover photo the first week in June. It is painful for me to like not put things out to the public that I could, right? But I'm also making sure I'm being strategic. Okay. Number 2, I want you to brain dump the plan. Brain dump all of the things you're going to need to do. So I just use that example. I'll stick with that of the podcast. Okay. So some of the ideas were name it, get a new photo, which means photo shoot, right? Maybe I had to buy clothes because I didn't have something that I wanted on the front cover. That wasn't the case, but it could have been, right? What else? Are we updating a logo? Are we getting new colors? Like what else has to happen with this? What's the launch plan? What's the date of the launch plan? What do we need to do to prep the date of the launch plan, right? All of these things. So you're brain dumping all of the stuff that you know is going to need to get done. Step number 3 is you look at that list and you start to set deadlines in your calendar, okay? I shouldn't say put it in your calendar yet. You set deadlines to reassess if the timing feels too tight. So as I was planning out my challenge in September, and I was doing this already at the beginning of summer, I was able to very easily just reverse engineer. If I picked September 12th, I was able to kind of go back and go, okay, well, I want everything done 2 weeks prior. I don't want to be doing anything last minute. I want to feel so good so I can show up on social and just be like very authentic and have good energy and not be stressed and overwhelmed, right? So I reverse engineered. So I said, okay, I need to do this by this date, this by this date, right? As I started to step number 4, put it in my calendar, right? I then started to go, okay, this is realistic. I can get this done without feeling the stress, the pressure, the anxiety. Okay. Now, I want to share this with you too. I remember one month I was going to be short about $20,000 for my monthly revenue goal. Okay. And I said to my CPA, I'm going to do a quick webinar because I need to like get that quick cash and I know I can sell $20,000 on a webinar. Okay. And he knew that I was about to prep for a promotion that was happening in about 6 weeks. And he said, what is the opportunity cost of you doing this quick thing versus doubling down on the promotion you already have planned? And could you just bring in an additional 20,000? That was big for me because I was used to like having those quick fixes and just solving the problem. And he was so right. So that month I was a little bummed because I really was short about 20,000. But the following month we made up for it. And I'll tell you, sometimes that quick cash, it leads to the little amounts of cash, right? But slow and steady wins the race. So as I was able to say, just let it be, let's focus on this. As that started to happen, that launch was so much bigger than just an additional 20,000, what I was hoping it would be. Because instead of me whipping together something that I say quick webinar, first of all, anybody that does anything or has been on a webinar, you know there's nothing quick about a quick webinar. Creating it, slides, the email sequence, the Facebook, I mean, it is a project and I was going to whip it together. It's like, it would have been so bad. I don't even know if I would have made that kind of money, right? So slow and steady wins the race. Now, It takes a little bit of time to save you hours for the long term, right? I am constantly doing this with our well-oiled operations students. I'm helping them slow down to speed up, right? That right there is probably the single most important thing that we are doing in the program, right? To get people such massive results. It takes, like I said, a little bit of time, yes, a temporary sacrifice to save you hours and hours and hours long term, right? Or a week of your time to put a system in place, but that generates you money from now on every day, right? The problem isn't, or the problem is that preparing isn't fun. Doing is. But you know what really stinks? When the doing isn't getting a return. Man, I've been there too many times where I'm like working my butt off and I'm not producing a return on my work. And it's because my work isn't that great. And a lot of times, I would blame it on other stuff. I would say, "Oh, it's the market. Oh, it's this." No, it was me not giving something my all, right? Me not going all in on really properly executing, right? I always say, like, you look at something, you grab like half of the concept, right? You spend a quarter of the amount of time actually implementing what this person did, right? You're missing a majority of the strategy and you're like, "Oh, it doesn't work. I tried it. It didn't work." You tried it like one time for 4 days and they put in 90 days or 6 months worth of effort. So stop comparing your results to somebody else's when you don't know they're behind the scenes, right? If you're willing to get your hands dirty, to do the work, right? To put in the time, the energy, the preparation, you will be so much happier with the outcome. All right. Now we're going to be going a lot deeper during our challenge coming up September 12th. Hopefully it's already on your calendar by now, but next week I'm going to be sharing how to get you on the list to get all of the updates, the free templates, all of the details on the next class opening for well-oiled operations as well. All of that. So I'm super excited that we're going to be able to dive in even deeper if this is something that's exciting to you. Now, I see people get stuck in the planning because they doubt. They have fear, they have anxiety, they have the overwhelm that kicks in. So I've got a list of 7 questions that I pull from my book, The Implementation Code. And I ask myself this when I get into maybe slow motion. So if you want to comment the word decision to help you get moving, I'm going to send you over the list of 7 questions I ask. They are good questions to get me unstuck whenever I'm kind of in one of those zones. If you are listening to this, DM me on Instagram at Stacey Tuschl, the word decision, and I'll send it over to you. One of my favorite questions on there, I'm going to tease a little bit just because I want to show you how good it is. One of my favorite questions I ask myself is, let's say it's a business decision, right? And I have maybe a list of people in business that I admire. I love how they do business. I love their work-life balance, like everything about it. I can model them, right? I look up to them. I will ask myself, like, pretend that person in your head, you might have somebody too. What would they do? What would they do in this situation? And that question, I can usually answer it. And 9 times out of 10, I bet I'm answering it the way they would. And it makes me go, okay, if I want that kind of business and that's the kind of thing that they would do, then I'm going to have to start playing that game. So I've got 7 of those juicy questions waiting for you to get you unstuck. Comment the word decision and I'll help get you moving. All right, everyone, have a phenomenal rest of your week.